Corporal Humberto Sanchez, United States Marine Corps.
I think it's important we know that he was more than just a soldier, because he was kind and he was loving and he was the best husband I have ever had, ever will have, could ask for.
For Alina Knaus, the past few days have been surreal and unimaginable. Last Thursday, her husband, 23-year-old Staff Sergeant Ryan Knaus, was killed in the suicide attack at the Kabul airport. Staff Sergeant Knaus was assigned to the 9th Battalion, 8th Psychological Operations Group. He was based at Fort Bragg and joined the Army in May of 2016. At their home in the Sandhills, Alina reflected on the last time she talked to Ryan.
The last thing I had texted him was, hey, I love you. When you get the chance, I know you're busy, but can you please just text me and let me know you're okay? And he never got to respond to that.
Ryan was one of 13 service members we lost last week as they carried out their mission of getting Americans and Afghan refugees out of Afghanistan.
I've never lost someone, and God, how tragic that it was the person I cared about the very most. But for me, it's hard to be so sad when we were so happy. I might be in denial. I might be going through my grieving process, but at the moment, it's more of just a strange clarity about how grateful I am that he chose me and we chose each other, and that, it wasn't enough time, and I'll always be robbed of that time, but God, the time we had was so blissful.
Through her pain and tears, Alina remembers her husband as a charismatic person people were drawn to. He loved and cared for anyone who needed help and was the first to step up and answer the call, dedicated both at home and where his country needed him.
He did exactly what I believe any service member would do for their country, but he did it. He was right in the field of work he wanted to be in, and if he knew the outcome, he would do it again.
Tonight, remembering a local hero in Afghanistan, Maxton William Soviak, a corpsman in the U.S. Navy and from Erie County in northern Ohio, was among those U.S. servicemen killed in the Kabul attack in Afghanistan on Thursday.
Flags are flying at half-staff around the state in Maxton's honor. This is the scene at City Hall in downtown Cleveland. The flags lowered on orders from the governor. Mark Nabick went to Erie County today and has more on this American hero.
A graduate of Edison High School in Milan, Ohio, Maxton William Soviak excelled in the classroom and in sports, especially in football and wrestling. Max was full of life in everything he did and was liked by everyone, the school district said in a statement. Soviak finished high school in the district's vocational electrical tech program before joining the military. His instructor there said, quote, "Max and I had many good conversations about his future and going into the military. I'm proud of him for choosing to serve."
Born to those who pledged their lives in sacred honor, was smiled upon by God and freed from chains and iron collar. He is held aloft on unity and by history revered for preserving peace through strength. His wings now reach across 200 years. But for each of those in 1 year more, God has smiled upon the Corps. From the Barbary coast to the eastern sand, by sword, by gun, or by bare hand. So it's been and shall be weighed. Though many are born, few are made. Faithful always they shall remain. Dogs to loose when war is waged.
3 generations hanging on to each other for strength.
He was supposed to come home in a couple weeks.
Battling the impossible goodbye.
He was only 20. And all I kept saying is, Grammy, I want to come home. I want to come home.
Deployed in Afghanistan only a week and a half, 20-year-old Lance Corporal Dylan Marola from Rancho Cucamonga was killed in the terrorist attack at the Kabul airport. As he guarded those fleeing the country, his mom saved the message from his last phone call.
Mom, I won't be able to talk to you for a little while. We're being sent to a different location. I love you, and I will talk to you as soon as I get home.
The Los Osos high school grad who planned to go to college and study engineering was honored at his alma mater's first football game of the season.
Last evening, our LOHS community received some devastating news. Please pause for a moment of silence to honor Dylan and those who have fallen.
One of the best kids ever. Kind, loving, giving to every single person. Everything.
For more than 200 years, our Corps has done two things for this great nation. We make Marines, and we win battles. Hoorah! Never forget that. You're first Marines, and not all the communists in hell can overrun you.
She wanted to join the service as a kid, and she did. At 17, she enlisted.
Marine Sergeant Yohani Rosario of Lawrence is being remembered for her selflessness.
The community right now is grieving. We're all very sad for the family, because this is terrible, terrible. She's gone too young.
Tables are being set at the International Veterans Care Services in Lawrence, 13 place settings symbolizing each service member lost in Afghanistan last week. The head of the table, reserved for Sergeant Rosario.
And here is a young woman, 25 years old, that could be doing other things, but she gave 7 years of her life into the military, and ultimately she gave her life.
The city of Lawrence is planning a hero's reception for Sergeant Rosario's return home. Governor Baker offering the state's assistance.
And we should always honor, always respect, and never forget the loss that they've incurred as a result of their service.
Meanwhile, this Lawrence Veterans Group offering their resources to the grieving family.
That is exactly what International Veterans Care Services was designed for, to make sure that no veterans nor their families are ever without.
My son was killed in 2007. I've been asked, do I feel as though it were for nothing? No, my son's life was not lost for nothing. My son and the many others on these panels behind me have saved countless lives.
I think this is the beginning of a longer journey. A longer journey. I think the veteran community is awakened a little bit by the events over the last few weeks. I think combat is a very personal and hard thing, and I think people process it very differently. And there's a good number of veterans who gave so much, missed birthdays, missed holidays, missed anniversaries, divorces, separations, and to have things unfold the way that they have has been a bitter pill to swallow.
It's just sad, but also we know that they were doing good, right? So you're happy in a way because you know that they were saving lives and they're American heroes.
I am a devil dog, I'm marching on. I am a devil dog, I'm marching on. I am a warrior and this is my song. I am a warrior and this is my song.
Jared is one of the most loving people you're ever going to meet. Just an amazing kid.
Dedication is the word continuously used to describe Jared Schmitz.
He is way dedicated to his family. He loves his siblings and his mom and dad.
Committed to his family and his country.
He was very dedicated to his country, very dedicated to being a Marine.
Patrick Sweeney is best friends with Jared's dad.
Could have been like my other son.
Watching Jared grow up to be the man he is today and witnessed his devotion to become a Marine.
Before he even enlisted, he was out working out every day, preparing to go into the Marine Corps. He just wanted to serve his country, and do it well, and he did.
That man also became his brother. Sweeney is a Marine himself.
Well, the day that he told me that he wanted to be a Marine, I smiled. I was so happy for that, and I was very proud of him.
Sweeney knows firsthand the risk that this job takes. For Jared, though, he loved his country to no end, even risking his own life for the sake of others. Unfortunately, Jared was one of the 13 U.S. service members killed at the Kabul airport in Afghanistan.
Pray for the troops. Pray for them. Pray for the kids on the ground. And pray for this family and the families of the other Marines and the Navy corpsmen.
Today, though, Sweeney isn't just feeling the heaviness of grief. He's also honored and proud to be brothers in arms with a man he now labels as a hero.
It hurts, but we'll honor him and love him. And he's a hero. That's all I can say.
Justina Cornell, 5 on your side.
I'm basking in glow of the rising war, laying waste to the ground of an enemy's shore. Wade through the blood spilled on the floor, and if another one stands, I'll kill some more. Bullet in the breach and a fire in me, like a cigarette thrown in gasoline. If death don't bring you fear, then death ain't brought by no Marine. Come to the nightmare, come to me, deep down in the dark where the devil waits. In the wall with the jaws and the razor teeth, where the brimstone burns and the angel wings. Call to the gods if I cross your path, and my silhouette hangs like a body bag. Hope is a moment, now on last. The shadow of death is the one I cast.
At the Ingalls Veterans Memorial below Kareem Nakui's family home in Norco, City Councilman Ted Hoffman lowered the American flag in honor of the 20-year-old Marine. Nakui is one of the 13 service members killed in the terrorist blast in Afghanistan.
Kareem would have been one of the junior ROTC kids that we saw during a ceremony. He was up here. I think he was part of the 21-gun salute that we had here.
Nakui graduated from Norco High School in 2019. The principal's son was in ROTC at the same time.
Just a good kid, really had a strong energy about him and knew what he wanted to do. It was neat to see that kind of direction and drive and goal setting.
The Riverside Sheriff.
I am a devil dog, I'm marching on. I am a devil dog, I'm marching on. I am a warrior and this is my song. I am a warrior and this is my song.
And Marine Corps Corporal Hunter Lopez from the Coachella Valley. Lopez's family honored his short life by posting these photos on social media, writing, "It was a dream of his to join the military since the age of 11, and that he spent every free moment training and perfecting his craft."
Hell has no teeth and I won't overcome. Never forget that. I am a warrior and this is my song.
Staff Sergeant Taylor Hoover is an American hero, one of 13 U.S. service members killed in the suicide bombing.
Friends and relatives are remembering the life of the man they dearly loved. Fox 13's Erin Cox spoke with Staff Sergeant Hoover's father at his home in Sandy. She joins us tonight from there.
Serving the red, white, and blue was something Darren Hoover did as a police officer and something his son followed.
He took it just to help preserve our freedoms and help those less fortunate that don't have the same thing that we have. And I'm proud of him. Our family couldn't be more proud of him.
Now, I asked Darren what the community could do for him and his family, and he responded to support our armed forces. We are still waiting to hear the details on when Sergeant Hoover will be returned from Afghanistan and where he will be laid to rest.
flags at the state capitol at half-staff tonight in honor of the 13 service members killed in the suicide bombing at the Kabul airport, including a 23-year-old Marine sergeant from Roseville. Nicole G. was killed after a suicide bomber detonated explosives outside the airport. Her family devastated tonight. They are remembering her as a bright light who was passionate about everything she did. The Oakmont High graduate documented her time while overseas. Nicole was deployed earlier this year but entered active duty back in 2017. We spoke with Nicole's sister, who says Nicole loved her job and was proud of the work she was doing in Afghanistan.
Some of the last things that she said was, "I love being here. This is amazing work." She couldn't wait to tell me more about it after deployment.
Tributes from the community and state leaders have been pouring in all day.
Now I'm inflicting a mean to inflict the grief, and the least of me is still out of your reach. The killing machine's gonna do the deed until the river runs dry and the last breath leaves. Sit in the air with a head held high. I'll stand in the path of the enemy line. Feel no fear, know my pride. For God and country, I'll end your life.
He had such a beautiful soul. He was one of those people that you want to be around all the time.
22-year-old Marine Corps Corporal Humberto Sanchez was killed last week in Kabul. His mother says after the blast, she knew in her heart he didn't make it. A knock at the door confirmed her worst nightmare.
My husband opened the door and I just asked him, "Are they dressed? Fully dressed?" And he told me yes.
Coro Braceno says her son proudly put on the uniform to serve his country, enlisting for 5 years in 2017. She says he wanted to get on the right track and create a meaningful path in life.
He's my partner. And even though I hated that he was away, because I just wanted him close, I was very proud of him.
Carol Sanchez was close with her younger brother Humberto, or Bert, as everyone knew him. She says he was a brilliant young man and succeeded at whatever he put his mind to. Family says that even meant putting a smile on someone's face, no matter what they were going through.
He was just happy.
Braceno says another Marine told her of her son's final heroic actions outside the gate of the airport.
He was taking all the kids out of the gate. He was saving all those kids first.
It's something she finds peace and pride in knowing, helping others until his final moments, something Bert will always be remembered for.
We are going to hear more stories about him impacting people's life.
Reporting in Logansport, Courtney Spinelli, CBS 4 News.
Courtney, thank you. The Logansport community is finding ways to show its support for the family. Today, a memorial fund was set up in Sanchez's name.
A local business owner started it, donating the first $1,000. He says all the money raised will go directly to the family.
It's creating, in fact, a ripple effect with other small businesses and people wanting to help also pitching in.
It's nice to see the public in our area come together and try to support the families that need to be supported during this time. It's a horrible thing, and no one could even understand it unless you were going through it yourself.
Says that another business, the Boardwalk Cafe, also donated $1,000. For those interested in donating, you can do so at any Security Federal Bank location by asking about the Humberto Sanchez Memorial Fund. We'll have all the details on our website, cbs4indy.com.
For more than 200 years, our Corps has done two things for this great nation. We make Marines, and we win battles. Hoorah! Never forget that. You're first Marines, and not all the communists in hell can overrun you.
I'm going to take this call. I'm going to start with calls here. Kathy, Colorado, you're on the Will Count Majority. Hello.
Hey, my son was one of the Marines that died yesterday. And to listen to that. Sorry, I'm on the radio.
No. Go ahead.
My son was one of the Marines that died yesterday. 20 years and 6 months old, getting ready to come home from frickin' Jordan to be with his wife to watch the birth of his son. And that feckless, dementia-ridden piece of crap just sent my son to die. I woke up at 4 o'clock this morning to Marines at my door telling me my son was dead. So, to have her on right before me and listen to that piece of crap talk about diplomatic crap with freaking Taliban terrorists who just freaking blew up my son and know nothing, to not say anything about, oh my God, I'm so sorry for the families. So my son is gone, and I just want all you Democrats who cheated in the election or who voted for him legitimately, you just killed my son. With a dementia-ridden piece of crap who doesn't even know he's in the White House. He still thinks he's a senator. So I'm going to try and calm down. I'm sorry.
No, you imagine what...
A Marine just left my house 2 minutes ago getting my divorce decree. Two Marines showed up at my house at 4 o'clock in the morning to tell me my son was dead. So my name is Kathy McCullum. My son was Riley James McCullum. You can check it out. His wife, she might not want me to say her name. They just got married on February 14th, and they're expecting a baby on September 26th. And I just couldn't sit by idly because I think I need to just process through anger instead of tears. And so this is how I'm going to do it. And Laura Boebert's coming to my house tomorrow. My representative will be at my house tomorrow. And we'll speak, and hopefully she'll be able to convey my message to the rest of the United States. That this was, she said, your son did not die in vain, but guess what? My son did die in vain. This was an unnecessary debacle that could have been handled properly. They had months and months to remove everyone from Afghanistan, and they chose not to. And so they sent in freaking, 6,000 troops? And my son, through the laws of statistics, my son was one of the ones who just got blown up in a freaking terrorist bomb yesterday. So I know you'll check it out, and that's fine. But, so instead of grieving and crying, I'm just getting mad.
If there's any organization that you would like me to connect you to, if you want to give us information, there are many family support organizations that we work with. We used to do a thing called Vet Ride. It's not just for wounded soldiers and Marines. It's also for families that have lost people. I can't imagine what you're going through right now. Everything you're feeling right now is justified. I don't think you have to apologize or tell us you're going to calm. You have every right to feel how you feel and to speak your mind. And I consider it an honor that you would call this program and you would call me.
Because I love listening to you and I believe in you.
Well, thank you. And obviously I'm halfway across the country from you. I can't come over and comfort you right now. There's nothing I can do from where I'm sitting in this studio. But if there's anything...
My boyfriend's an Army veteran. He was in the 101st. He was the first wave over in 03, March of 03 in Iraq. And so thank God for him. And I think he might have been a big influence on why my son wanted to join the military. My son was a genius child, an IQ of 156. He could have done anything he wanted to do in the military, and he chose to be a Marine sniper, and that was his choice. Instead of just, being fast-tracked, he chose this course. But I never thought in a million years that he would die for nothing, because a feckless, dementia-ridden piece of crap decided he wanted a photo op on September 11th. That's what kills me. I wanted my son to represent our country, to fight for my country, but I never thought that a feckless piece of crap would send him to his death and smirk on television while he's talking about people dying with his nasty smirk. The dementia-ridden piece of crap needs to be removed from office. It never would have happened under Trump. And I'm pacing, just so you know I'm out of breath because I'm pacing. But it is so disgusting that these people cannot even acknowledge the fact that they just killed my son for nothing, for an ill-managed debacle of a freaking withdrawal from a country that we had total control of. That's what gets me. That's what gets me. If my son would have gone in on when my boyfriend did in March of 2003 to freaking defend our country against terrorists, that would have been one thing. But this is a whole nother animal.
Again, you have the right to vent, and you have the right to feel the way that you're feeling, and I'm not going to. I will sit on the phone with you as long as you need me to. I will sit here. I will sit here with you as long as you need me to, or want me to.
I can't afford to pay you by the hour, sir. If you're going to be my therapist, I can't afford to pay you by the hour. Oh, sorry, trying to make jokes, man, but this is, I mean, how much more horrific can it get than to know that your son died for nothing? And I talked to Lauren Boebert. She's going to be at my house tomorrow, and I'm a smart ass, and I guess this is how I deal with things. I can't cry because I'm too mad to cry, which is so sad that I can't cry for my son right now. I'm just too mad to cry for my son right now. But when I see that baby in a month, when his baby is born, I'm sure I'll break down and cry. But right now I cannot afford to cry. I've got to be strong. His wife is in freaking Oceanside, California right now. And I need to be strong for her. And I'm going to do that. And I'm not going to cry, because if I start crying, I'm not going to stop. So I'm just going to stay pissed off. And that's the only way I'm going to be able to do this. Because if you ever are waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning with 2 Marines at your house, I knew, and I told everybody yesterday before they informed me, I knew yesterday my son was dead. I called 10 people yesterday before they even came. And everybody thought I was nuts. And then at 4 in the morning, there they were telling me he was gone. So I'm just trying to work through this. I'm trying to be normal. I'm not going to be able to be normal. But for every Democrat who cheated or voted for Biden that left my son in harm's way and allowed this dementia-ridden piece of crap who is a treasonous man who just got into office because he was running out of funds for his family, you did this to my son. Every Democrat that's listening, you did this to my son to prop up a disgusting human being. So I guess I don't have anything else to say.
I am a Marine on the beach on a killing machine with a need to bleed you when the light goes green. Best believe I'm in the zone to be, from my yin to my yang to my yang to see.
A 23-year-old Marine was among the 13 American service members killed in a suicide bombing Thursday near Kabul's Hamid Karzai International Airport. On Saturday, the Department of Defense identified Marine Corps Corporal Dagan W. Page of Omaha, Nebraska, as one of the casualties. Page was raised in Red Oak, Iowa, and in the Omaha area, and joined the Marines after graduating from Millard South High School. Corporal Dagan William Tyler Page served in the 2nd Battalion, 1st Marine Regiment based at Camp Pendleton, California. He planned to go to trade school and possibly become a lineman after his enlistment ended, his family said in a statement. Page's family remembered him for his tough outer shell and giant heart. According to a statement published by the Omaha World Herald. Our hearts are broken, the statement said. But we are thankful for the friends and family who are surrounding us during this time. The Marines family said Page loved the Brotherhood of the Marines and joined after graduating from Millard South High School in Omaha. He grew up in Red Oak, a city of almost 6,000 people in southwest Iowa, and the Omaha metro area, according to the statement. Page was a longtime Boy Scout and played hockey for Omaha West Side in the Omaha Hockey Club. He was a die-hard Chicago Blackhawks fan and loved hunting and being outdoors with his dad. An animal lover, Page also loved dogs, his family said. He leaves behind his girlfriend Jessica, his parents and step-parents, 4 siblings and grandparents, according to the statement. Dagan always looked forward to coming home and hanging out with his family and many buddies in Nebraska, the statement said. To his younger siblings, he was their favorite jungle gym, and to his friends, he was a genuinely happy guy that you could always count on. Red Oak Mayor Bill Billings mourned Page's death in a statement. We all share in the sorrow of this loss with the family and send our thoughts and prayers, Billings said. Dagan served his country with honor and gave the ultimate sacrifice to aid others. U.S. Representative Don Bacon said in a statement that he was heartbroken to learn of Page's death, adding no words can express the devastation, frustration, and sorrow his family is experiencing right now. Corporal Page is an American hero who gave the last full measure of devotion, Bacon said. He served his country honorably, and his service will never be in vain. Senator Joni Ernst tweeted condolences to Page's family Friday evening, calling the news heartbreaking, and Governor Kim Reynolds ordered all flags in Iowa to be lowered to half-staff and took to social media to offer condolences. We grieve for this young man's family and loved ones, Reynolds said. Dagan was a selfless person with a big heart dedicated to the community, state, and country he served. Contributing, the Associated Press, the Des Moines Register.
Come to me, cause I'll win. I'm one of a kind and I'll bring death to the place you're about to be. Another river of blood running under my feet. Forged in a fire lit long ago. Stand next to me, you'll never stand.